everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Jenny, and as always, I'm here with Mark, our resident tech guru.
Hey Jenny, always a pleasure. And I've got something today that's going to really bake your noodle, as they say. We're talking cybersecurity, and not just any garden variety stuff. This is nation-state level cyber attacks.
Oh boy, buckle up everyone. When Mark says bake your noodle, you know it's going to be a wild ride. So what's got you so fired up today?
Okay, so picture this. It's January 2025. The US Treasury Department just got hit by a major cyber attack. And get this, it was a Chinese state-sponsored actor who pulled it off.
Wait, seriously? The Treasury? That's like the Fort Knox of financial data. How does something like that even happen?
Right? You'd think they'd have, laser grids and, cyber dogs or something. But here's the thing about cybersecurity. It's only as strong as its weakest link.
Cyber dogs. I'm definitely using that one. But you're right, it does make you wonder where that weak link was.
So apparently these hackers, they're what's known as an Advanced Persistent Threat, or APT for short. These guys are like the ninjas of the cyber world, super sophisticated, tons of resources, and they play the long game.
APT, got it. So not your average script kiddie messing around in their basement then?
Oh no, definitely not. We're talking about teams of highly skilled hackers, often backed by governments. They use all sorts of fancy techniques to get in and stay in, sometimes for months or even years, without being detected.
That's unsettling, to say the least. So how did they get into the Treasury, specifically?
This is where it gets really interesting. They exploited a vulnerability in a third-party software that the Treasury was using.
Third-party software. So, not even the Treasury's own systems, but something they were using from another company?
Exactly. It's like, imagine you lock your front door super tight, but you leave a window open because the company who installed it said it was secure. That's kind of what happened here.
That's a great analogy. So, what kind of software are we talking about here?
Well, the report says it was a technical support tool, something that allows remote access for troubleshooting. And this thing, according to a cybersecurity expert, Ryan Kalenber, could be used to do basically anything. So it makes sense why it was a target.
Okay, that makes sense, but it's still crazy to think about. So they get in through this software. Then what?
They managed to access some Treasury workstations and, unfortunately, some unclassified documents. Now, unclassified doesn't necessarily mean unimportant,
Right, it could still be sensitive information, just not top secret, right?
Totally. And this wasn't a quick smash and grab either. These guys were in there for a while. According to one metric, the compromised software was accessed over 800 times in 3 months.
800 times? That's... wow. They were really digging around.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And you know what one of the experts said? Aditi Hardikar, she's an assistant secretary at the Treasury. She called this a major cybersecurity incident. No kidding.
I can imagine. It's like, if someone broke into your house 800 times, you'd probably call that a major incident too.
Laughs. Right? But it does make you think, what were they looking for in those documents? And what did they find?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it sounds like even the Treasury is still trying to figure that out. I read that they were working with the FBI, CISA, and a bunch of other agencies to investigate.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. And it just goes to show you that no one is completely safe from these kinds of attacks, not even a major government department.
So what's the takeaway here, besides, being utterly terrified of hackers?
Well, I think it highlights how important it is to not only secure your own systems, but also to be really careful about the third-party software you use. You've got to vet those vendors and make sure they're following best practices.
Yeah, it's like that saying, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And in this case, that weak link was a piece of software they probably didn't even think twice about.
Exactly. And on a bigger scale, I think this incident is going to push organizations, especially government ones, to really beef up their supply chain security. There will probably be more audits, more regulations, maybe even some cyber spies. Who knows?
Cyber spies. Oh, I like it. It sounds like something out of a movie.
Well, you know what they say. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. And in the world of cybersecurity, that's definitely the case.
No kidding. Well, Mark, this has been another eye-opening conversation. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
Anytime, Jenny. It's always fun to, explore these crazy corners of the tech world with you.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into the fascinating and sometimes terrifying world of technology. Until then, stay safe and maybe update your software.